Welcome to Women's Football Weekly. Coming up, we have goals from the League and Cup in Germany, all the action from the French Premier League, and highlights from the Coppa Italia semi-finals as well. We start with midweek cup action from Germany, where reigning Frauen-Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich were at home to the league leaders Eintracht Frankfurt in the quarterfinals. Eintracht looked to be heading for the last four with 11 minutes to play. Bayern's Caroline Simon turned in a cross from Laura Freigang. Simon probably unsighted after visiting attacker Geraldine Reuteler threw herself at the ball first. But substitute Jovana Damjanovic would rescue Bayern with just over a minute to play. The Serbian cleverly chested in a cross from Clara Bull, and that goal sent the game to extra time. These teams locked on 35 points each in the league. They'd drawn in Munich in November, but recent arrival Momoko Tanikawa proved a game changer in this match. The Japanese substitute beat three players to set up Glodis Vigosdottir 3 minutes into extra time. And with a minute left in the first half, Tanikawa scored a stunning goal to make it 3-1 Bayern. The 19-year-old finishing as the Damallsvenskan's top goal scorer, and she also won the league while on loan with Rosengård in Sweden. She already looks right at home in Germany. With 11 minutes to play, history then repeated itself. Bull would create another goal for Damjanovic. Damjanovic finishing with a double on the night as Bayern went through 4-1 after extra time. The one-time cup winners will now fancy their chances of going all the way. Ten in a row cup holders Wolfsburg were on the road at Hoffenheim. The home side were 7th in the league, while Wolfsburg were 3rd after a surprise draw at Cologne in their last match. The visitors would be caught on the counter-attack 4 minutes into the second half. Dominika Grabowska did superbly here to pick out Ereleta Mehmeti, and the Kosovo international produced an outstanding finish. Wolfsburg unable to come up with an equaliser. They suffered a rare defeat in this competition. Hoffenheim thrilled to advance to the semis thanks to a 1-0 victory. Bayer Leverkusen were at home to Werder Bremen in another all-top-flight clash. The visitors got the only goal. Larissa Mühlhaus headed in Tuana Mahmoud's corner right on half-time. The 22-year-old getting her third goal in this year's cup run. Underdogs Bremen hung on after that. Thomas Horsch delighted to lead his side to the final four. There were over 16,500 fans in attendance at the Volksparkstadion to see second-tier sides Hamburg and Borussia Mönchengladbach in action. And most of them were celebrating in first-half stoppage time. Hamburg defender Emilia Hirscher headed home a corner from Svea Stolt. Just 2 points separating these sides in mid-table in Germany's second division. 2 goals between them on the night. Vildan Kardessler netted on 68 minutes. That was after some great wing play from Lisa Baum. Hamburg won by 2-0 on a great night for women's football in the city. Wolfsburg's 52-match winning streak in the Cup came to an end at Hoffenheim. That means there'll be a new name on the trophy for the first time since 2015. Bayern will play Hoffenheim at home in the semis, while Hamburg face Werder Bremen at home in what's set to be a fascinating Northern derby next month. The big game of the weekend in the Frauen-Bundesliga saw third-placed Wolfsburg host league leaders Eintracht Frankfurt. The She-Wolves were ferocious from the off in this one. Alexandra Popp had them in front after only 3 minutes. Lynn Wilms with the cross. League goal number 6 of the season for Pop. 5 minutes later, it was 2-0. Lyneth Berenstein put last season's runners-up in a strong position. The Dutch forward powered past Sarah Dorsoen and got her 12th goal so far. Wolfsburg motivated not just by their midweek cup exit, but also by a 3-0 loss to Frankfurt in September. They were fortunate to get a penalty when Pia Sophie Volter was ruled to have handled Pop's header. Janina Minge put it away on 28 minutes. 3-0 Wolfsburg in front of close to 9,000 on a bitterly cold day at the Volkswagen Arena. Shortly before the break, the home team would get another spot kick. This one more clear-cut. Nina Lawson tripped Vivian Enderman. And this time, Lena Latvine took on responsibility to make it 4-0. Still time for another goal before the break. A free kick from Wilms caused chaos. And former Wolfsburg player Volter scored an own goal. Quite the reaction from the home team after their cup loss. And things got even worse for the visitors on the hour mark. Enderman getting on the score sheet as Wolfsburg got a 6th. Berenstein had the assist on this occasion. Eintracht conceding 10 goals in a week. They pulled a goal back themselves though, 5 minutes before the end. Carlotta Wamser would score here from Lara Prasnikar's cross in what was a humbling few days for the visitors. 6-1 Wolfsburg was the final score. Second-placed Bayern were at home to 8th-placed Werder Bremen on match day 15. Both sides on a high after their cup wins on the Wednesday before this match. But it was the champions who were soon celebrating again at the FC Bayern campus on Sunday. Caroline Simon helped Bayern break the deadlock on 16 minutes. Danish attacker Pernilla Harder was on the end of her cross. That was Harder's 8th league goal of the season. Enough to put Bayern top of the table. They won by 1-0. In form, Hoffenheim were up against 4th-placed Bayer Leverkusen. The breakthrough in this one came after a mistake from Leverkusen's Lila Turani. Selina Cerci made her pay. The half-time substitute struck for the home team on 59 minutes with her 7th goal of the season. Leverkusen's Cornelia Kramer later thwarted by Laura Dick as Hoffenheim clung on to win. On Friday, 5th-placed Leipzig were favourites to beat bottom club Turbine Potsdam, but they got a shock when Mia Schmidt put the visitors ahead on 17 minutes. Her strike sailing over Elvira Herzog. Winless Potsdam celebrating only their 3rd league goal of the season. They held on to that lead until the 56th minute. Potsdam keeper Vanessa Fischer couldn't hang on to a corner. Emilia Eskjøsdottir fired home the loose ball. The winter signing from Iceland scoring for the 2nd week running. And 2 minutes later, Emily Bernhardt was ruled to have fouled Mai Kanawaki. Giovanna Hoffmann scored the penalty. 2-1 Leipzig. Hoffmann having an excellent season. And she gave the home team breathing room with 9 minutes remaining. The former Bremen and Freiburg attacker now has 8 league goals so far. The final talking points came 3 minutes into injury time. Marlene Schimmer set up a goal for Vanessa Fudala. This was the 23-year-old's 9th of the campaign. It added to 2 that she'd scored against Bremen a week previously. Leipzig won 4-1 for the 2nd match in a row. We go back in time to Tuesday now, when Essen hosted Cologne in a rescheduled fixture. In the second half, Essen captain Jacqueline Meissner smartly set up a shooting chance, but her powerful effort was brilliantly tipped over by winter signing Aurora Mikkelsen. 0-0 the final score. Third bottom Cologne were back in action on Saturday when they travelled to Freiburg. Freiburg hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak. Ahead after 59 minutes, Germany attacker Cora Zickai racing on to a clever header from Selina Bobian. The 20-year-old has 6 league goals for the season. She'd also scored in a 2-0 away win over Cologne in September. The home team sealed the points thanks to Mai Schneider with 15 minutes left. The 17-year-old getting her first goal in the top flight. 2-0 was the final score. Essen hosted second bottom Carl Zeiss Jena on Saturday. The home team falling behind on 5 minutes as Jena sought their first win of the campaign. Summer signing Leonie Kreil scored her first goal for Jena. Isabella Jaron had the assist. Essen didn't take too long to get back on terms. Ramona Meyer waiting a long time for her first goal of the season. She got it on 19 minutes. A well-taken one as well. One all at half-time. Meyer, though, would get her second of the day a minute after the restart. She headed in across from Lili Porcella. Essen on course for only their third win so far. And they would get some help from the bench. Substitute Maika Berensen would add a third goal for the home team on 77 minutes. She made the most of a lovely through ball from Annalena Rika. And with 3 minutes remaining, Lauretta Elmazzi would score for the second time this season. The half-time substitute finished after another good pass from Rika. Essen doing the double over Jena. They won by 4-1. So there were home wins aplenty in week 15. Wolfsburg hit Eintracht for 6, and champions Bayern are the new leaders thanks to their win over Bremen. With 7 games left, Bayern have a 3-point lead over both Eintracht and Wolfsburg. Potsdam are still 2 points from safety. After the international break, Eintracht host Essen and Wolfsburg have a tough game at Leipzig before Bayern visit Cologne on the Sunday. French champions Lyon were expected to ease past bottom side Guingamp. It took only 9 minutes for the league leaders to hit the front. Canadian defender Vanessa Gilles registered her 5th league goal of the season from a Selma Basha corner. Approaching the half-hour mark, Melchi Dumonet was bearing down on goal for Lyon, and she would make it 2-0. A lovely step over to set the chance up. The Haiti international on target for the 12th time this season. The unbeaten home team would lead another devastating break 5 minutes later. Malawi attacker Tabitha Shawinga teed up Kadijatu Diani for goal number 3. Guingamp, not surprisingly, heading for a 14th defeat from 15. Basha's excellent play on the left led to a 4th goal for Lyon after 58 minutes. France attacker Diani was the scorer. And she wasn't done yet in this game. 4 minutes later, Diani would have the chance to make it a hat-trick. She was waiting for a cross from Jennifer Maratsan. And the France attacker there to head it home. That was her 9th league goal this term. With 69 minutes played, it was the turn of Dutch midfielder Danielle van der Donk to get on the score sheet. The 5th league goal of the campaign for the substitute. Like Gilles and Dumonet, she'd also scored in Lyon's 8-0 away victory over Guingamp in November. 3 minutes later, another substitute would complete the rout. Van der Donk presenting US international Sofia Huerta with the opportunity. And she would score for the first time in French football. The champions look unstoppable right now. Lyon 7, Guingamp 0 was the final score in this one. Third-placed Paris Saint-Germain were home to mid-table Montpellier on Saturday. The home team moved ahead midway through the half. After a mix-up in the visiting defence, Romain Leuchter had a shot cleared off the line. Grace Gayoro was on hand to blast home the rebound. That was the midfielder's 4th goal this season. 12 minutes later, new signing Crystal Dunn was involved when PSG increased their advantage. Montpellier failed to clear across. US international Dunn set up Joe Echegini. She came up with a cracking finish. Like Gayoro, Nigeria international Echegini had also netted in the previous week's Cup Quarterfinal victory at Le Mans. It was a comfortable night for PSG. Sakina Kashawi stretching the lead further on 65 minutes. She slotted home her 4th league goal of the season thanks to a glorious through ball from Echegini. And late in the game, PSG won a penalty. Marie Lavasseur unlucky to be penalised for handling a shot from Marie-Antoinette Cazzotto. Leuchter found the net with 3 minutes to go. The Dutch attacker getting her 6th league goal. Montpellier got a consolation in stoppage time. Mary Earps kept out a shot from Kethna Louis. No clean sheet for the England goalkeeper though. Substitute Sophia Ngelu nodded home the final goal. PSG 4, Montpellier 1 was how it finished. On Friday, Paris FC saved their best work for the second half of their home match against Saint-Etienne. Maëlle Garbino had the second-placed home side in front 3 minutes after the restart. She was played in by Daphne Korbos, and a deflection helped her shot get past Saint-Etienne keeper Marine Guignot-Soulier. 6 minutes after that, Garbino doubled Paris FC's advantage. Korbos played another great pass. Former Juventus attacker Garbino scoring a classy 7th goal of the campaign. Both of these teams had won through to the French Cup semi-finals a week previously. 8th placed Saint-Etienne were very much second best here. Mathilde Bourdieu added another goal on 72 minutes. Kessia Bussi denied after another super ball from Korbos. Bourdieu with her 4th of the season. And Bussi rounded off the scoring 4 minutes later. Her 9th goal of the campaign set up by Lou Bougart. A convincing victory for the home team. Paris FC 4, Saint-Etienne 0. 4th placed Dijon were at home to 3rd from bottom Reims. They led on 37 minutes. A fine individual goal from Swiss attacker Myriam Terschun, her 3rd of the season. Reims tied the game just before the hour mark. Hawa Sangare getting her 4th goal of the campaign. That was thanks to a good cross from Lemine Mana. Dijon, though, would be awarded a 90th minute penalty when Nadia Kreziman was taken down. Lea de Klerk's spot kick hit the post. The ball fell to Claudia Liedlinska, though. The Polish attacker's 7th goal this season gave Dijon a 2-1 win. Fleury were hoping to keep in touch with Dijon in their bid to make the top 4 playoffs. They were home to second-bottom Strasbourg. Aissata Traoré headed in the opening goal 5 minutes before the break. Charlotte Fernandez had the assist for the Mali international's 7th of the season. Promoted Strasbourg replied in the second half. When Kenza Chapelle's shot was blocked, Liana Joseph levelled the game. It was with 11 minutes left. The teenagers' second goal since joining on loan from Lyon in January. 1-1 was how it finished. The other promoted club, Nantes, were hoping to keep well ahead of visitors Le Havre in mid-table. They were given an early boost when the ball struck the hand of Eden Legui. Julie Raban finished from the spot on 2 minutes. Le Havre equalised on 21 minutes. Laurie Kans added to her highlights reel for the season. Her 5th goal so far was a beauty. The home team were back in front 8 minutes later from a corner. Noémie Vagre eventually stabbing home her 1st goal of the season. But Cup semi-finalists Le Havre would pounce on a defensive error 2 minutes later. Algerian attacker Ikram Adjabi scoring her 1st top-flight goal. 2-2 the final score. So Lyon had another resounding victory over Guingamp. The 3 clubs behind them in the table were the other winners in week 15. That means champions Lyon are still 7 points clear of Paris FC and 8 ahead of PSG. Strasbourg and Guingamp are in the relegation places. After the international break, Lyon visits Strasbourg, Paris FC host Nantes, and Dijon play PSG. It was Coppa Italia semi-final weekend in Italy. On Sunday, Fiorentina and Juventus played out a thriller of a first leg at Viola Park. Juve's Mathilde Haviken headed in a corner from Abby Brighton after 5 minutes. That the Norwegian defender's 1st goal since joining from Rosenborg in January. 4th-placed Fiorentina responded well. On loan from Juve for the season, Agnesa Bonfantini tied the game on 10 minutes. Manuela Bacchete's shot ran for Emma Severini, who got the ball to Bonfantini. 3 minutes later, Severini invited Emma Thier to shoot from a free kick. The Danish fullback thumping the ball to the net. A first-leg home win had helped Fiorentina get the better of Juve in last year's semi-finals, but the visitors levelled here 10 minutes before the break. Sofia Cantore flicked on Lisa Boatin's corner. Pablo Bonansea could hardly miss. Juve had won both league matches between the teams convincingly, but Bonfantini came close to restoring Fiorentina's lead in the second half. It was Juve who struck again with 15 minutes to play. Substitute Amelie Vangsgaard caught home keeper Francesca Durante napping to make it 3-2 to the visitors. Fiorentina would have got a draw, only for France keeper Pauline Perrault-Magnan. She tipped a thunderous strike from Kaya Ergen onto the bar with 9 minutes remaining. Juve won 3-2. They have home advantage in next month's second leg. Cup holders Roma were away to Sassuolo in the first leg of their semi-final on Saturday. They led after 3 minutes. The cross from Emily Harvey not cleared after Alice Corelli missed her kick. Eveline Vian eventually scored from close range. The Giallorossi extended their lead in the 27th minute. Another well-flighted cross from Harvey was headed to the net by the backpedaling Corelli. She'd also scored in Roma's round of 16 win at Bologna. In the 74th minute, Roma took a major step towards their 5th consecutive cup final appearance. Manuela Giuliano has specialised in great goals lately. This was another to add to her list. Sassuolo got a lifeline with 4 minutes left. Substitute Naya Mihalic found the net after Manuela Perselli's shot was blocked by Moika Minami. That was the 18-year-old Slovenia international's first senior goal for Sassuolo. Roma have a 3-1 advantage going into next month's second leg. So, Juventus and Fiorentina won on the road in the first leg. The return matches are in the middle of March. The championship playoffs begin in Italy on March 2nd, when leaders Juve host the third-placed defending champions, Roma. That's all we have time for on Women's Football Weekly. We'll be back next week during the international break to tell the story of the season so far. From myself, Mark Rodden, and the rest of the team, it's goodbye for now.